All right.
Okay, so now we're recording, and I'll let Levon kind of introduce the
Okay.
topic and we'll move from there.
Well, good morning, everyone. And so we thought this would be a good opportunity to have a discussion around the registration system and how you collect, um, your registrations, how you register people, how you um, track the individuals that are going through anything that the non-credit grant is paying for, that it covers. And so we have a series of questions. I think you got them. Did they already, Dalton?
Yes, those were in the
Yes,
listserv.
that's what I thought. Okay. And so you've had a chance to look at them. And what we'd like to do is break out into groups, and you'll be randomly assigned by Dalton. We'll take about 25 minutes, about half for you to talk among yourselves around these four questions, unless you think you need a little more time, because then we'd come back together and you could share what was discussed in your work group. So let's start. We'll do the 25 minutes and then we'll come back together unless someone sends a message and said, no, no, we definitely need more time. Okay, enough of that. I was trying to be humorous. Anyway, so I think that will work. And any questions about the questions? Everybody okay with them and you understand what we're asking? Um, and if someone, does want to take some notes during the meeting or so that for discussing as the coming back together for the larger group. Uh, so we'll need that, some talking points, etc., from your group. Um, any questions about that? What we want to do? We hope you find it helpful. So yeah, and then you can see the questions right here. And so I won't be joining a room to allow you all to just have your own conversations. And so if there aren't any questions, I guess we can go ahead and get started. There's a lot you could discuss during this, so we hope you find it helpful. And then when we get back together, maybe you'll hear from some others that you might want to reach out to as to what they're doing. So hopefully that is part of what this will generate. Are people you can talk to about registration or how you track or collect information on your participants. So, okay, thank you. Dalton, I'm
Yep. Sorry,
not
I
going
opened them up and people just started diving right in, so
to. Okay.
they're
All
eager
righty.
to talk.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
Elizabeth, Crystal, Vivian,
And
Charlotte, do you
sharp.
have any questions? Working our way in. Assign two, one. Excellent. All right. Susan, are you good? Do you have any issues? Alrighty. I'm going to pause our recording right now. Resume recording. Levon, would you like to
Sure.
introduce back?
So, okay. So everyone's had a chance to uh, share and talk with each other. So why don't we just hear briefly, um, and people can put questions into the chat too, and I'll bring those up if you want. So why don't we start with group number one, and you can just do a broad overview, or if you had specific things that popped out, or if you want to do it question by question, that's fine. That is your call. So would anyone like to address from group one? Hello?
I don't know who group one was, Levon.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, Dalton, did they have a room? Did they know their
Yeah.
room number?
So Crystal Johnson, Elish McDonough,
McDonough.
Heather Adams, Kim Wilkerson, Christy
Okay.
Steffenson, Lori
Okay.
Cox.
I can kind
Okay.
of talk to it, and Heather and everyone in the group, please add in. Um, we talked about the registration tools, and we were kind of all over between some still using paper and entering. We're at Ren Lake, and we are in the implementation process of Modern Campus. Um, we were kind of all over. It was a quiet group. Um, we talked about how we did arrive at those choices, one being, budget. One school was looking at integration with their ERP system. Um, Questions 2 and 3, we really didn't hit a lot um, because, like us, we're still integrating Modern Campus. We did talk about barriers that we find in industry trainings and registration. Barriers like companies not wanting to give date of birth or social security numbers, and how we all approach that. And I feel like most of us were on the same, have that issue and approach the same way. Those
How
that
do you,
voiced
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think we were all, we still get those barriers, but like at Ren Lake, and I think maybe Wabanzi said they were going through HR instead of just going in the classroom and asking for the individual for the information, and that seems to work better going through the human resources department.
Okay.
And there was probably more discussion, but that's just an overview. Heather, did I miss anything, or anyone else in group one want to share?
This is Eilish. I think yeah, you covered most things. One of the other things that I just added is, our system has been in place for a while. It's Destiny and Banner, and I have to collect, paper registrations from the corporate clients that I have. But one thing we're trying to implement is soft docs, or like an e-form that they can use either on their phone or on a tablet. And that's just a work in progress at the minute, and hopefully that'll modernize things. And I'm hoping that we have that like by the beginning of the next semester, like in the fall.
Yeah, Ariel, this transcript interview has been ongoing for about 2 hours in the group right now.
Okay. That's 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 interesting because I'll put something, I know we discussed this for those of you, I think we're on the last operational meeting. We did discuss the fact that, you do have to have information on every participant that you serve or train. And so the big concern is, how you are doing that. If you have registration systems, I know one of them was the employer's employees, capturing that information. But we'll be talking about that more at the upcoming operational meeting. So because that's critical, if you don't have um, sign off from individuals that are taking, trainings or being served by you, um, it creates through the grant. I mean that, and you don't have that information. That is a problem, and we're going to be talking more about that. So um, but so that's good to know. You're looking at things like eDocs and going to HR to get employer participant info. Um, so that's really good. Anybody else from that group have any ideas? Okay. We want to go on to the next group, Dalton. If you want to just name some of the people, then they'll know which group they were in.
Charlotte Loss, Elizabeth Riley, Carissa Miller, Kinsey Yates, Sarita Brown, Vicky Wilkins.
I can attest to the group. Many of us started out with a colleague And we did not find it very satisfactory for the public community facing needs that we had within our teams. So several of us have switched or are in the process of switching. I know many in the group said that they were interested in Modern Campus. I can attest that our institution, Sandberg, has switched to Transact, which is eMarket. And we just switched last month, so it's we're fairly new in the new implementation of it, but so far it's going fairly well. I mean, there's hiccups with any transitional period, but it certainly leaps and bounds ahead in terms of the usability for the public that colleague had. And then if anyone else in our team has any other, I'll leave it to them.
So it's called Transact what?
I can put it in the chat here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I found a little PDF of it online that shows it pretty well.
Are you able to get participant signatures with that? To verify it's them
So
or
what we do is we have a checkbox that you can put in. So for instance, like we have our waivers for our youth camps, or anything that might be involving safety risks or photo releases. So we just have a checkbox at the end where they can manually agree or disagree to it. And that's how we're doing it. There's no actual signature.
okay. That's one of the things, I'll be honest, that we're debating, discussing right now. If you're spending grant money for participants to be able to verify that, they were served or trained. So just letting everybody know that.
Does it need to be like can you type out your name like as an electronic, or would it
I
need
get
to be
it.
like a
Yeah, I
manual
mean,
signature?
we haven't, but I don't think that would be an issue because many places allow that now. We're just working on it. If you're doing a regular class or a course, like, let's say phlebotomy or something, you're probably already getting signatures and you've got verification that, they were trained. So
Yeah.
it's those, we're only, we'll talk about that at the operational meeting. So
Oh,
you might
okay.
want to be there.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. Anyone else on that one?
Yes, Levon, I think we talked about questions 3 and 4 and how some of those systems supported the outreach. One of the systems you mentioned were really good at being able to generate information out to participants every time they, had a new class, whereas others were still doing paper to generate information. So it wasn't it's old school. You put them on a spreadsheet, you use those email addresses to generate your marketing information, and then someone else used Constant Contact to be able to generate and help them with their outreach and enrollment. And I think one of the lessons learned that we talked about was making sure that whatever you choose integrates well, so you don't have those, any of those issues.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that issue that, is, thank you. The issue is that you can verify the students that you served, participants, students through services or training through the grant, you are able to verify those individuals, because I know we've had some colleges say, as they discussed here, well, we don't, employers don't give us that information. Well, they've got to. And one of you said HR was helpful. But once again, you must have that information. This is a grant. This is not your regular non-credit. This is supplementing non-credit, your overall non-credit with specific activities through the grant. So it is a bit different. So in that respect, if you don't want to collect names, or get data information, I don't recommend it. But from employers on outside the grant for activities you're doing outside the grant. But if you are doing it with, through the grant, then they have to be, we have to be able to verify, you have to be able to verify they actually were served or trained. And so we're working on a couple things that you could use in the case of if you don't have a system that works, or, you know, that's able to do that. If you're still doing things by paper, you know, we would like to know how. So that sort of thing. So we will talk about that at the operational meeting. I don't want to take the time up here. Just want you to know we're working on it. But we didn't do this one intentionally for that. It just so happened this was how we ended up doing registration. So it really today, so it really flows, but that was into our operational meeting, but that wasn't the intent. Okay. Sorry, I'll stop. Next group.
We only had two breakouts, but if
Oh,
anyone
we
has-
only had two great breakouts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Did anyone have any other comments or kind of responses to what another college is using, how they use Constant Contact or anything like that?
Are most of you getting your employer, like if you have a contract with an employer and then you're serving, let's say you're doing some sort of training for those employers, are you getting, for the most part, are you getting the names and information on those participants?
This is Elish from Oakton. Yes, I am getting everything that is required. It's just, it can be cumbersome sometimes because people are reluctant, but yeah, but I still get it.
Okay. Okay. And do you get sign off by the participants? I'm just curious.
When you
I'm
mean,
able to get sign off on ours. We do a sign-in sheet that we're able to get that information. I have had a little bit of a struggle getting, you know, some of that information they may not want to disclose, date of birth, and putting in their social within our community ed, you know, registration system.
Uh-huh.
But we're working with them and work through that. But everybody signs off on the trainings that are provided.
What about services that you provide? Do you get sign off on those? You know, if you're doing an employer connected service through the grant?
I haven't had a service yet. So
Okay.
but if we were to, we would that's all
Yeah, you'd still
kind
have
of
to,
make
yeah.
it it's a non-negotiable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We're still paper for all
That's-
of our processes. And if
Yeah.
you attend anything connected with the grant, you fill out a paper registration. That way we have the
Great.
information and
Great. Okay. And do you have them, do they sign off as a result of that?
yeah, there's a signature at the bottom.
Right.
They sign it that
Right.
morning.
Okay. Okay. That's, yeah. If you're doing paper, you're doing paper. But yeah. Okay. And Kim said, yes, we get the information, sometimes just barriers to get them. Yeah, correct. Okay, anyone else? Any questions for the group, issues that you are having, or things, thought of something that is working well? I know it's summer and, you know, so I get it. But anybody else? Do you think this is, overall, do you think this is an area of great concern, or most of you feel confident that you are getting what you need to get from all types of services and trainings?
I could speak to that. I do think talking about registration systems is a big concern. You know, just I think that's something that, you know, our community has been talking about for a while. And with the ICCB grant coming down, I think it's a lot of changes and transitioning going on throughout the state with registration systems. My only thing is that I tend to meet a lot of colleagues in the field that are newly transitioning with their registration system. So it's
Okay.
not much information that they can really give me as far as like, what's happening. We have had a few present at the last strategies conferences about their new registration systems,
Right.
and those were great. But yeah, I'd say particularly like with this call, I know Ren just got Modern Campus, so they're fairly new with it, and Kenzie talked a little bit about Transact. So, and we're just looking at new registration systems ourselves, so it's not much we can add as well
Okay.
to the conversation. So.
All right, so you're doing paper right now?
We do paper for our employers. So we fill out everything for them, and then we manually enter it into Colleague. With the community education registration system, we do instant enrollment, but of course it's a headache, as everybody says. Colleague instant enrollment is a headache. So most of our students and community members call in or come in person to register.
Okay. And so do you get participants' signatures?
For employers, are you talking?
Like if an employer has you do a training and you have 20 participants, how do you
Yeah.
verify those 20?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm over actually the community education department.
Okay.
My partner, Elena Sampos, I'm from Moraine. She's
Yeah.
over the contract training part.
Okay.
And so she deals totally with employers.
Okay, so then do you deal with open enrollment?
Yes, I'm open
Okay, so
enrollment.
how do you do open enrollment? Let's say employers, you do some sort of a training, that there's a need for some sort of,
Yeah.
non-credit training, and you do it as open enrollment. How do you collect information there?
We have them fill out forms.
And they
So
sign?
yeah, they do sign. We have them
Okay.
sign something saying, that they want to register for the class, and if their job doesn't pay for it, that they'll pay for it. So they sign documents, they put their birth dates on documents. So we have multiple forms that they fill out and sign, and we manually enter them into the system.
And then do you have them sign in on during the training? Like when they attend?
We do not. When it's a course, we do not, because if it's open enrollment, yeah, we don't have like a sign-in sheet. The instructor takes attendance because they might be in there with other students
That aren't,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So if it's open enrollment, no, we don't have them sign a separate sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the grant, that may have to change just for the grant, so we'll talk about that. Just for verification.
You're talking about the employers training?
No, well, let's say you're doing an open enrollment, but you don't have people sign in, right?
If I'm doing it for employers,
Right.
yes, but I don't have anything written in the grant for employers through open enrollment.
So then what are you?
I'm
Well,
doing a
that's
new registration system. Yeah, I'm purchasing a new registration system through the grant.
Okay, we can talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, anybody else? I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Sarita.
No problem.
Anybody else? Okay, well, if we don't, we're not going to hold you. And thank you for this discussion, and we'll be talking more on at the operational meeting, and we'll go from there. So thank you very much, and I hope you found this a good use of your time. Dalton, do you have anything you need to add, or?
No, that'll be all. The recording will be
Okay.
on the where all the other learning and community ones are on the install grantee support page. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.